Alright, so welcome back to Voided Nox. Here today we have both of us, and we're going to be discussing a bit about the Apex Legends meta, legend ideas, and some heirloom. So first off, we're going to be discussing the heirloom ideas. And here to discuss it with me is...
I'm just a caustic main boy, and basically we're going to be talking about heirloom ideas, and what he said, meta, and also even new legends that we think could possibly be in the future. And not MOBA. So we're going to start off our heirlooms with crypto. So what would you think about crypto?
I mean, I feel like we've already seen some of the charms from his weapon, the weapon charms. You see his data knife, and I feel like that is probably what his heirloom is gonna be. But I feel like it also kind of needs some green on it too, like so it gives you kind of like that crypto feel, and maybe something to do with his drone. So maybe like a little bubble on it.
Yeah, that would be cool. I also thought maybe that he could maybe have like a broken drone, like maybe like a prototype, and it was like broken, and he like would hit you with it.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
And the next heirloom we'll be talking about is Caustic's heirloom, which we have multiple ideas for, but to start us off, our first heirloom idea is...
it would be a beaker. So he kind of like, it should be broken, just like it kind of make it be a caustic vibe to it. I guess like just like the fact that it's broken. There's two other ideas. One was on Reddit. It was a caustic brass knuckle, and it would have like the Nox gas liquid in it, and that would be kind of cool, especially if he had it like on both knuckles. And the last idea for caustic would be his science mug. His science mug you can find in a charm. It's a charm for him, and also in one of his poses, which looks pretty sweet actually.
So the next heirloom we will be discussing is actually a heirloom that isn't very like well requested or anything. Kind of like Caustic's, but this one is just not at all requested. Like not a lot of people play this character, and that is Revenant. So some people play Revenant, and he got a recent buff, but I was thinking one cool thing that could be a Revenant heirloom could be his hand, because you see in the trailer him like using his hand and stabbing people through like that. Maybe they could find out some way that his hand could be a heirloom. I feel like that would be really cool, or some attachment to his hand, and he would like do some like jabs or whatever. But that's the heirloom discussion for now. One more bonus round is Jibby's, which some people play, is his like Maui thing, which he hits people with, and you see that in his finisher and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. So, next order of business is legend ideas. So, to start us off, what are some legend ideas that you have?
Well, I only have one, but I think that, so he would kind of have like a Forge feel too, because like Forge kind of seems, like when they said they were going to Forge, kind of like, he looks like a big guy, maybe like a melee-based character, and I'm thinking Apex should still think about releasing a melee-based character, obviously not Forge, but someone else, like maybe, okay, if any of you guys play Overwatch, maybe like, almost like Doomfist, like maybe he can punch, melees can do extra damage, so I really like, he would be very similar to Doomfist, but it would, but like Apex would do something to know that, to show a difference. what about you? What legend do you think would be a cool one to add?
So I feel like a legend based around fire is a great idea. I feel like I like your melee idea too, but there are a lot of legends in the game that use, combat and weapons as their abilities, but I feel like, Bangalore with her smoke has the right idea of having a legend with the grenade and, unconventional weapon ideas. So I was thinking of having a character based around a thermite grenade. Well, not really just thermite grenade, just fire in general, where they would spawn in with 2 thermite grenades, and then their tactical would be like a better thermite grenade.
Their tactical should just be the thermite grenade.
Yeah, or like a one that does a slight more damage or more area, because it's not really a good tactical if other people can do it. And then her ultimate could be like, she attaches like a flamethrower to her weapon, so if anyone gets close, they take a bunch of damage. Or something like that.
Cool, actually.
That would be like a really interesting legend that I think a lot of people would play.
Yeah, but also, melees, like, what if they shot fire? Like, I don't know if you've played Battlefront 2, but Boba Fett, he, like, when he punches people, the fire shoots out of his arm.
Yeah. Something like that. Because I feel like that could be really cool, and her, like, a passive could be, like, not taking damage by fire or something like that. Like you see with Watson with her fences. But the next thing we'll be talking about is the new legends in the game, how they're affecting the meta, which in my opinion isn't a lot. Let's be realistic, you haven't seen many crypto mains. You've seen a little, like a tiny bit of Revenant mains, and a bit more Watson mains, because Watson was a decent character, but that's the only decent character that we really had added to the game. And I feel like if you're trying to keep the game fresh, you should definitely change the meta up, and having just terrible characters added to the game every couple of seasons isn't really going to change up the meta. But I like what they did with Revenant with giving him a couple of buffs. That's definitely going to help, because just giving him buffs is going to help with the meta, because people are going to want to play him more, and it's completely going to change the way Legends are played based around other ones. And I feel like what they should do is add characters that are overpowered, not such overpowered, but characters that are better than others, and then nerf them later. That way it changes up the meta a lot more than it would have if they didn't add legends that were super overpowered. What are your thoughts on this?
Well, first off, I do have to say that Octane, even though he was an add-on to me, Octane feels like he was always in the game. Like, he really changed the game, mobility and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, some characters didn't change the game much. Like, Watson, her fences, not really, because they're so easy to avoid. But her ultimate really just, like, it brings a really cool thing to the battle. Like, it'll just, if you throw an airstrike or something, you'll be like, oh, well, that team's dead. But then Watson places her pylon and they survive. Like, I think that's amazing. That really changes it and makes it easier. But some characters don't really, like, do much. Some abilities are only meant for combat and not actually, like, strategy, like Mirage's. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, it's either Mirage uses his decoy in the middle of a fight, and he uses his decoy escape to run away when he's low. But otherwise, there's, like, really no other special thing that changes the game, really, for Mirage.
I kind of agree with that, but also you have to keep in mind the way people play, like, if they play the Legends. And you haven't seen a lot of, like, Octane mains, but you've seen a bunch of Watson mains, especially in Ranked, because people play really sweaty in Ranked, and that's just, like, how they do it. Because when you're playing in Ranked, you want to, have the best chance of winning in camping. So I feel like you just need Legends to adapt to the playstyle of people and what they want. Like you said, if they're good, doesn't mean people are gonna play them. So to add on to what I said, I feel like people should like try the new legends, but Respawn and EA should make legends that people like would want to play. Not legends that are good or necessarily bad, but legends that people would want to play. Like the fire thing, that sounds cool. I'd want to play that. And Revenant sounded cool too, but when you finally learned a bit more about him, I feel like it just wasn't as magical. So make the legends okay and make them like you want to play them. So that's our take on the meta, and yeah, that's basically it.
Yep. In the end, they should have probably stuck with Forge. Honestly, at this point, like when I think about it, I think Forge would have been better in the long run.
More people would have played Forge. But that's all from us. As always, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. We would love it. We'd appreciate it a lot. But if you don't want to, that's okay. It still supports us from the views. But yeah, thank you. This has been Voided Knox, and we are out.